Kublai pi baro kini gilong ki kubor bam tagasngi. Umentri rang ba kajala Conrad ki sangma ula pensai kilak pathai kubor. Shapang karai chungka cabinet ban penskami ki bonded noses ki bala syatung hakisnem 8,000 pra hadu 8,000 khat ar. Habakran syakinong to kubor hadin kajung yalang ka cabinet ula batairu i kajung perkhat ba kajung pej bnia kabla long syaban shimmi kini karai. Conrad uloong bahaba ke sorkar kadang sedang pej benia ikini kakam kalalap bahaswa usnem 8,000 nyo kidon shibun kijeng thungkam hakitenat bapher om tang kaha katenat kakot kakya kibla long klem debut ya kenu kijeng ai kendon kapapiang. Kinong trei kibla sya thung la thung hakipos kibla don sanction henry karukom thungkam kabadei kam shim labun. Kini kimde kijeng thungkam kipapiang ngikot ikini kum ki ad hoc appointments ong Conrad. Ulo ong ru baha kata kapor ke sorkar kasim jeng ban shimrai katenat namar kitenat bapher kidon kirukam trekam bapher ber kijeng thungkam jengki kilong trilai. Omla ban shimrai katenat namar man katenat kadon na kajong kirukam. Banat na kajeng bamyaha bat ban penkhut kajeng batai ngishim dekat blanket decision ula ong. Umentri rangba ula ong ru baka sorkar kalap baki bonded nurses kimde hakaju kakadan kumki ad hoc appointees. Habang ipet ikakis jongki bonded nurses ngilam. Bagadi karukom thung ka bapher kiladon ka bon ka badai kakot ki hukum bar ka selection process rule adon wala kamde ka MPSC ne ka DSC ong Conrad. Ulo ong baki nurse kilalit training ladon ka bon bala thung da kajeng batai hukum ka basyai ka bapelong ya kajeng thungkam jongki ban kamlong ka babiang ban yanujor bad ka ad hoc appointment. Ka jengthung yaki ka longkat kum ka bon ka selection process berki kendon bala penbam senyau hukum kane ka long ka bapher naki ad hoc appointments kiba omdan rukam AA uong shushu. U Conrad ulo ong bahadin baka cabinet kala bishar bnia ikijung pensyai kala sngo baki bonded nurses kidon haka category ka bakarpang namar baki jengthung kam jongki kidei ki bladon nongrim bat ki kot kisla hukum ki babiang. Habang ishim yaki benta bapher ka bond ka legal agreement ka selection process bat ka jengthung kam ka badai ngilap baka category jongki bonded nurses ka long lingkot bha ban yanujor baki ad hoc appointees ong umentri rangba. Da kajing bishar bnia ka bapura ka cabinet kalarai ban penskemi ki bonded nurses ki basha thung haus nem 8,000 pra hadu 8,000 khat ar. U Conrad ulak dawru bakani karai kadai ka blashim lingkon bat kadai ru kamat polisi ka baka sorkar kala bishar bnia bha shwaban penkut yaka.
When we took the decision in 2000 for the 2007 and before, it was based on a Supreme Court ruling. Now, just for the knowledge of everybody, ad hoc employees are employees who are appointed against sanctioned posts. But the normal recruitment process was not followed, and they were simply appointed. That is the definition of ad hoc employees. Now, at that point in time, the decision in front of us was, what do we do with ad hoc employees post 2008? And hence, it's not just healthcare, but we were looking at all the departments put together. And therefore, at that point in time, for us to take a decision, department-wise was very, very difficult because there are many, many departments, many, many different categories, and many different procedures being followed by different individuals. And hence, we took a blanket decision in order to ensure that there is no, situation where there is any kind of discrepancy or anybody comes up and says why them and why not us. And therefore, we took a blanket decision and we decided that post 2007, whoever were appointed on an ad hoc basis will be the recruitment process or those posts will be advertised because, as I said, because they're ad hoc. And again, I'm repeating, ad hoc means sanctioned post, but appointments being made without recruitment process being followed. And hence, we had to those. So, in technically, those posts show as vacant posts right now if we were to search them. And therefore, now we have to find a way to regularize that. When we then went deeper into the system, we realized that the bonded nurses, the selection process, even when they went for the education, the selection process was done. And based on that, a bond was signed. and based on that, appointments were given. So therefore, it's a very different category compared to simple appointment where an ad hoc appointment is done, where there is no process at all that's followed. And hence, when we saw that part of the bond being there, and the fact that there was a legal kind of a binding agreement that was put, and which was again abolished by at 2013. So up to 2012, these bonds were there, and therefore we took a conscious decision that since these were bonds, appointments were made, we will recognize those appointments and we will allow them to continue to work. So that's how it was.
So that is the clarity which was required. So therefore, they were appointed. They were at that point in time. A process was followed, but it was not the MPSC process. It was not the DSC process. It was not the healthcare or medical recruitment board process. But it was a process nonetheless, and they were appointed. So the question was whether the cabinet would recognize that process or not. So therefore, we went through the details and said that yes, there was a process, there was a bond, there was a legal document, and there was an appointment that was made. And hence, looking at those factors, it was very different from a pure ad hoc appointment where no procedure is followed and simply against a sanctioned post, appointments are done. So that differentiated these bonded nurses from a normal ad hoc appointment, and hence we decided to recognize that procedure that was followed and as I said, confirm the appointments that were made.
Sir,
It's a policy matter you're discussing right now. What we have done is we come up with a mechanism which will now mandate and regulate the overall the health institutions that are there. So that's the whole purpose. This question, it's just that I don't have the detailed reply to that right now.